Hey there, it's Simone. I'm back with another Journal with Me video or journaling session in my MD notebook. I love this notebook and I can highly recommend you checking it out, especially if you're not sure if you're suited for a Hobonichi cousin. This is definitely the cheaper version, and in my opinion, even though I really do love Tomoe River paper, if you are someone who loves to stamp, this is definitely the paper to go for. I usually start my spreads with slapping watercolor on the page. As you can see here, it's just I use my watercolor palette um, and just slap on watercolor. And that's something that takes 3 minutes, not even. And I love doing it. I do not have a designated room, office, scrap room, whatever you want to call it, journaling room, journaling nook. What I do have is part of our pantry um, that I love using. Well, that's where I store my stuff. And the countertop on my side is empty. And sometimes when I'm working in the kitchen and cooking, I just love to pull out my watercolor palette and slap on some watercolor and then just let it sit and dry because yes, it takes some time to dry. What you just saw me do is looking through this die cut, another scrapbooking supply. You know, I have been a scrapbooker for a long time and I have so much stuff in my stash that I want to use and use up. So I have decided to pull out everything that I have. And yeah, I was looking for a sewing machine because I was sure there was one included, but maybe I had used it somewhere else. So I went through all the things that I own and put them into this box from IKEA, um, and decided that I'm using those as journaling supplies. And so what I have been trying to do is like put some of those things because when you have so much stuff, or at least that's how it is for me, too much stuff overwhelms me. Yes, yes, that's how it is. And so um, I just take some things that speak to me right now, and then I'm trying to switch them out every couple of weeks and what I haven't used. And I'm looking at those things again. Am I really going to use them? Is it okay to part with them? And then I'm just putting them into an envelope and sending them off. And here is my call for you. If you are someone who would love to try this or who's already journaling in a similar way, I'm not owning a lot of antique things. So I'm not, if you are someone who loves vintage inspired things, then my Happy Mail is definitely not for you. But if you're someone who loves colorful things, colorful stickers, stuff that you see on my pages right here, definitely reach out, leave a comment, and or send me a PM through Instagram, and we can get in contact and I will send you a little Happy Mail. I have decided to send out 3 to 4 Happy Mail envelopes at the end of each month. And while I'm collecting all the things, and then, yeah, so if you want to be one of the lucky ones, just shoot me an email or a PM, leave a comment down here, and we can get in touch. Um, I have one thing to ask of you though. Um, if you are international, it's definitely not going to be a really huge envelope because it's so expensive to send out. But yeah, I still send mail internationally. So what I have been thinking about since I see so many people using the Hobonichi Cousin. And for a quick second here, I thought that I would love to get one for 2020. I tried to use one page per day, like copying the Hobonichi Cousin. Um, but that did not work out at all. Um, I, s- I still try to use one page per day, but I'm not going to journal daily, and I don't want to, um, yeah, make this a chore that I might not um, enjoy anymore. So whenever I have the time to do it, I will journal, and then I might journal about 2 or 3 days at the same time. Sometimes, especially when I'm like using watercolor or stickers, these pages don't come together linear, but they just evolve organically. And so it's okay to just work across the whole page, work across multiple pages. Um, and yeah, I I can't find my words, obviously. I really love seeing other people use watercolor handwriting. I'm not saying hand lettering, just their regular handwriting using watercolors. And I'm trying to do that too. I am trying to um, do it more frequently, and um, I can definitely see some improvement. And what I also noticed is that I really prefer just regular brushes instead of the water brushes. So if you struggle with water brushes, maybe try a real brush. And semi-professional, they're definitely not professional, but better quality brushes aren't that expensive, and you only need one. I think what I'm using right here is a 6 or an 8, and that is really nice for me. I like using that size of brush. I also like alternating pens. So I'm using my fountain pen here. I have waterproof Noodler's ink. I think it's just regular Noodler's black, and I really like that as well. I have noticed in my other journal that I sometimes touch it with wet hands because I have my supplies in my pantry on one side of my pantry. And so sometimes I'm journaling and creating while I'm in the kitchen. So sometimes I just wash my hands and then still have wet hands when I'm touching my journal. So waterproof is always better. Um, this year, this is almost done, but I have to tell you a story. This year, our school district started to do a global um, district-wide proof of residency at one school, and where I had to go to 3 different schools, 3 different days, very often, stand in line 3 times. It would take, well, sometimes it would take a whole morning for me to um, register my kids at their schools. It took me 15 minutes to register my kids back to 3 different schools. I was so impressed. Yeah, that's it. That's it for now. I hope to show you the rest of the journaling spreads in my next video. I really try to keep those short so that you can take 10 minutes out of your day to do something for yourself. I definitely hope you are. If you haven't tried journaling, maybe that's your game. It definitely is the right thing for me right now. Hope to see you soon. Until then, bye.